George, the psalmist said, and be glad in it. He woke us up this morning and he started us on our way. What a mighty God we serve. Heaven and earth adores him, and the angels bow down before him. What a mighty God we serve. Can we give the Lord a hand clap of praise? He's worthy, y'all, to be praised. Why? Because he's God. He's God all by himself. He's God when you don't even recognize him to be God. He's still God. And he does not need us to be God, because he is God all by himself. Greetings in his holy name today to our Fisher staff and to our First Lady and to our church family and to our visitors and our friends. I believe I'm right when I say it's good to be here. It's good to be in the house of worship one more time. With all of this going on around us, God has still kept his hand of protection upon us. He brought us from such a mighty long way. He's good, but in fact, he's better than good. How is that? Because he looks beyond our faults. He sees our needs. You analyze that any way you want to, but that's better than good. When he cannot see your wrong and yet bless you. But we thank God for this opportunity to be in the house of worship. We thank God for a blessed time. Thank God for our uplifting devotion. And we thank God for how he's touching all of our lives in one way or another. I can stand here today and earnestly say I've been young, but now I'm old. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg and bread. He's just that kind of God. For a few moments today, Joshua chapter 24 in the Old Testament. Joshua chapter 24. I want to read in hearing verse 5 for a pen of thought from this awesome chapter. Joshua, that's the Old Testament, Joshua chapter 24 and verse 5 in your hearing. In King James Version, it reads, I sent Moses also and Aaron, and I plagued Egypt according to that which I did among them. And afterward I brought you out. And afterward I brought you out. We'll talk for a few minutes today. God will bring you out. Yes, he will. He will bring you out. In our text today, the nation of Israel is gathered at Shechem, and the people present themselves before God. They had been in error. They had been in doubt. They had some disbelief about God, and now they're here in this holy spot that has been designated by God to dedicate themselves back to God. I think that's what we all need to do along this journey. When we get in error, when we mess up, make mistakes, we ought to reaffirm and rededicate our lives back to God. Shechem was the heart of the land at that time. It was nestled between Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. It was a natural amphitheater. It was a beautiful place, shaded by olive trees and nourished by fresh water springs. Shechem was a place where promises commenced. In this final address we see in the text, this final address of Joshua, he's giving his farewell address to God's people as he gathered all the leaders together around and about. And this is in this place because this is an important place to give his final address, his final speech to the people. In this place where they are now, more than at that time, 500 years earlier, God had appeared to Abraham in this place. A promise that he made to Abraham at Shechem. A promise that he made to him that he would have descendants that would come behind him that no number could number. He would be the father of the faithful. Abraham was promised this land by God. Jacob, in this same place, built an altar and gave himself to the Lord. In the same place now, Joshua called God's people together that they might reaffirm their commitment to the Lord after they had failed him in the face of Achan and having a victory over Ai. Shechem was a fitting place to challenge God's people. It was a place where promises were complete and made in full circle. Joshua, in this address, he places the burdens on God's people and on God's leaders of that time. He puts a burden on their shoulders because he reminds them now what God had done for them. Remind you that they were there now at the threshold of their promise. And now they seem if though in their hearts, in their heads, and in their minds, that they seem to think that God cannot fulfill the promise that he made many years ago. Amen. So Joshua opens in the verse 1 of this chapter, and Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem and called for the elders of Israel and for their heads and for their judges and for their officers, and they presented themselves before God. And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus said the Lord of Israel, your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old times, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods. And I took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood and led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his seed and gave him Isaac. And I gave unto him Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. And I gave unto Esau Mount Seir, and to possess it. But Jacob and his children went down in Egypt. Our verse says, And I sent Moses after they were in Egypt, also in Aaron, and I plagued Egypt according to that which I did among them, and afterward brought them out. The Lord has brought not just them, but he has brought all of us out of something. Yeah, we can take a moment and just think. There's not been a time in your life that you've been in a spot, and since you're here today, that God did not bring you out. He brought us out, all of us out of something. Yes, he has. It may have been one day your heart was aching, and it looked like it was not going to heal, but God brought you out. It might have been a headache where your mind was distorted. Your mind seemed like it was never going to become clear again. But God regulated your troubling mind, and he brought you out. It may have been a hard time in your life. Yeah, where it looked like nothing would come together. But some way, somehow, God fixed your situation. And you can be in this holy place today and look back and say, God has brought you out. It could have been a financial crisis. Yeah, your money had got funny. It looked like nothing was going to come together. But some way, somehow, when you look back, you made it. Yeah, you kept food on the table, and you kept a roof over your head. Why? Because God brought you out. Yeah, God has brought every one of us out of something. It could have been a sickness where you were sick. Seemed like you were sick unto death. But God, some way, somehow, delivered you. And he brought you out. It even could have been a sadness in your life. Where there was a hurt so burdensome in your life. It looked like you was not going to ever get over it. But some way, somehow, God fixed that thing. And he brought you out. We read in the scriptures time and time again that it was God who brought the children of Israel out of the Egyptians' bondage. Remind you today, it wasn't through their own ability or effort that they was not able to escape the bondage, but it took God to bring them out. Regardless of our special abilities, regardless of our intellect, regardless of what we are able to do for ourselves, we still need God to step in to get us out of some situations. The Israelites could have never gotten out of Egypt had it not been for God to bring them out. And I believe somebody got a testimony in here today who can say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, where would I be? They never would have made it out if God had not brought them out. And there's been some situations you've been in. You never would have gotten out if God's hand would not have brought you out. God often reminded Israel throughout scriptures over and over again that it was him who is the one who has delivered them and brought them out. That's the reason the psalmist in 106 tells us that we ought to be reminded what God has done for us. And since we are reminded of what God has done for us, he said, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. And if God done anything for you, you ought to say so. Because God got a way of reminding us what he has already done for us. I believe not only Israel was brought out by God from bondage. But I believe God is still bringing people out, even in a day like this. I just believe. I believe the devil and sin and temptation will take you in, and oftentimes further than you want to go in a situation. But I stand here today to tell you that the devil may have put you in some depths and despair, but God is there to bring you out. Dealing with the devil, he will put you in agony and even depression, but God is there to bring you out. The devil with his wicked ways, the devil may put you in the pit of misery, having you feeling sorry for yourself. But God is right there to bring you out. The devil with his craftiness and his low down ways, he may put you in torment of confusion. Have you wringing your hands and water flowing from your eyes, and you feel like you're in a hopeless situation. But my God is there to bring you out. The devil with his low down self, he may put you in the sorrow of afflictions. Have you where day is dark and it's darker than midnight, but yet God is there to receive you, to bring you out. The devil in his own ways, he may put you in a slime of disgrace. Cause you to make mistakes, cause you to err in life, cause you to hold your head down in despair. But there is a God waiting to bring you out. Well, only the Lord can wash you and make you clean and pure. Listen now, listen. If you have allowed sin to take you in where you don't need to be, God will bring you out if you allow him. If the devil has caused you to fall into temptation and take you where you don't want to be, and there are times on this life we all have been where we didn't want to be, but if you would allow him, God will bring you out. You can be where fear has taken you, where you don't desire to be. You're worried about this and you're worried about that. You're about ready to pull your hair out of your head. But if you would just take the time and allow God, he will bring you out. You can be where doubt take you where you prefer not to be. And all of us been there. You can say whatever you want to. I don't care how holy you are. I don't care how many thank you Jesus on your lips. You have been in situations where you did doubt. Or y'all didn't hear me. There have been some things that cause you to doubt. But if you would allow God to intervene, he will bring you out. You may be placed in a situation where grief have taken you where you choose not to be. You're grieving day in and day out. I stop to tell you, you need to try him because he's there to bring you out. God can bring you out if you will allow him. If you find yourselves wrapped up in a group of folk that has tainted your thoughts, use you for a dumping ground, and all you're walking in living in activity. You need to understand, turn to him He will bring you out. Yeah, God is there. He will bring you out of darkness into light. I said, God is there. He will bring you out of the depths and put you into new heights. God is there, I tell you, if you try him. He'll bring you out of the blues into unspeakable joy. Yeah, God will bring you out of sin's bondage into a glorious freedom where you no longer have shackles holding you, but you are free to worship him, and can nobody stop you. If you will, God will bring you out of your embarrassment and your shame into a blessed assurance, but you got to allow him. God will bring you out of a dreadful loneliness into abiding comfort. He'll be a friend that's sticking closer than a brother. God is able to bring you out of your emptiness into the fullness of his Holy Spirit, if you will allow him to bring you out. Yeah, God will bring you out. I don't care today who you are. If you will allow him, he'll bring you out. I don't care where you may have been. How low you have gone. If you will allow him, God will bring you out. It does not matter. I really don't care what you may have done. And all of us have made some mistakes. It does not matter what you have done. Child of God, you need to pick your head up out of despair. You need to stop worrying about your past, because there's a God in your presence. He's ready and willing to bring you out. You see, God, he brought the Israelites out of bondage. Did not he do it? Yeah, after he plagued them, he brought them out of the Egyptian bondage. Not only did he bring them out, but he led them across the Red Sea and let them walk over on dry land. God, I said, will bring you out. You doubt my statement? Just ask Naomi. Naomi will tell you, he'll bring you out of your Moabs and bring you back to your Bethlehem, where you ought to be. Daniel will tell you, he'll bring you out of the lion's den. Yeah, they were here today, the 3 Hebrew boys. They will tell you that he'll bring you out of a fiery furnace. If she was here today, the woman who was at Jacob's as well, if she was here today, she would tell you he will bring you even out of your immortality. He'll change your life. You'll be like she was. You're running the town telling everyone, come see a man who told me all that I have ever done. If the prodigal son was here today, he would tell you, he'll pull you out of the pig pen. He'll let you know that you may be acting like a pig, but you're not a pig. You may be living like a pig, but you're not a pig. And you'll come to yourself and you discover that you are fit for your father's house. Yeah, his Lazarus was here today. Even when you're dead in the grave, he'll tell you God will call you by your name and let you live again. God will bring you out. You, me, us, and them. Even they. He brought us out time and time again. No matter what you may have gotten yourself into, God is standing by to bring you out. Or y'all in here, God will bring you out. Just look, God will bring you out. If you are in the valley of discouragement, today you're worried about something, God is there to bring you out. If you're sitting in the den of iniquity, you have messed up and your secret sins are about to get the best of you, God is there to bring you out. If you're in the house of ill repute, look like nothing is coming together, you're always fussing and fighting, nothing can come together for you, God is there, y'all, to bring you out. Even if you're in the slums of disgrace, yeah, your name been hanging on every signboard, everybody look like they're gossiping about you. I come to tell you, God is ready to bring you out. If you are in the grasp of wickedness, look like the devil will not leave you alone. I want you to know today, God, he's ready, y'all, to bring you out. Even if you're in your prison of despair, where it looks like you don't have a friend in this world, God is there, y'all, to bring you out. God can bring you out of your quicksand of frustration, where you're standing there saying, if it ain't one thing, it's another. God is there. He's ready to bring you out. Yes, he is. If you were to ask today philosophers what to do about your situation, they'll tell you you need to think your way out. If you stop by the alcoholics, they will tell you that they might say to you, the best thing to do is just drink your way out. You can ask the scientists. They may say you need to invent your way out. Preach, Harry. You may even ask the industrials. They may tell you you need to work your way out. You can even stop by doing your situation's labor unions. They may tell you you need to strike your way out. Even in the military, they may tell you about your situation, you need to fight your way out. Even the evolutionists, they may tell you you needed to develop your way out. Even the educators, they may tell you that you need to study your way out. Even the psychiatrists, they may tell you you need to believe your way out. Even musicians, they may even tell you you need to sing your way out. Even to the extremists, they might tell you you needed to demand your way out. Politicians will tell you you might need to talk your way out. Or even comedians, they may tell you you need to laugh your way out. Even the wealthy, they may tell you you need to buy your way out. Even if you go to the doctor, he may tell you you need to medicate your way out. Even the pessimists, they might tell you there is no way out. But I come to tell you there is a God who rules the earth and the heavens. There's a God who sits high and he looks low. There's a God who's got all power in his hands. There's a God who's got an all-seeing eye and an all-listening ear. He's ready to pick you up out of your despair. And he's ready, y'all, to bring you out. Jesus, he is the way, the truth, and the life. You can depend on Jesus because he is a way maker. Well, I come to tell you, as I get ready to go, you'll never find release from your dilemma if you don't allow God to bring you out. You'll never find release from the bondage that you find yourself in until you decide to let God bring you out. You never get out of that confusion that fear that's keeping you up all night long, you'll never get released from it until you allow God, to bring you out. Those things that got you down, it look like God won't show up. It look like God is not going to answer your prayer. The enemy got you down, God. You'll never get released from it until you allow God, to bring you out. That sorrow and grief and despair that you're dealing with, you got to turn it over to Jesus and let him, work it out. Because there is no escape without him. There is nobody that can bring you out like the Lord can. There is no back door that you can enter in. There is no secret passageway. The only way, if you come to Jesus, just like you are, weary, wounded, and sad, you will find a resting place. And he will make you glad. Ain't God all right? Psalm 107, 13 and 14. They cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. He brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death, and break the hands in sunder. Watch what David says in Psalm 41 through 3. He said, I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined me and heard my cry. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay. Won't he bring you out? And set my feet upon a rock and establish my goings. He said, after this, he said, I had put a new song in my mouth. Won't he make it happen? Won't he put your bells in your ears? Won't he put clapping in your hands? Won't he put running in your feet? Won't he make you run, nobody chasing you? Won't he let you cry and nothing bothering you? He said, he put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto God, and many shall see it, and fear shall, and I trust in the Lord. Y'all heard him saying a few minutes ago, I will trust in the Lord until I die. I will stay on the battlefield until I die. I will put my trust in the Lord. Why? Because he's a way maker. He's a strong tower. He's a high tower. He's a rock in a weary land. He's a way out of no way. Yes, he is. He bread in a starving land. He water in dry places. Yes, he is. He'll dry tears from your eyes. Yes, he will. He'll go to bed with you while you're worried and rock you to sleep and stay there all night long. And early in the morning, he'll wake you up with a new song on your lips. He will bring you out. Have I got a witness here? Israel waited on God for a long time. Over 450 years, they waited on God. There's somebody in here been waiting on God a long time. There's somebody in here been wanting God to show up, but it looks like he's not going to show up. There's somebody asking themselves, where is God? Does he still really love me? You've been waiting for a long time. I stopped by to tell you, don't give up yet, because God is ready to bring you out. Your time is almost here. If you hang on in there, your season is about to change. If you hang on in there, God, he's ready, he's willing, he's able, he want to bring you out. Child of God, stop worrying, stop losing sleep, stop worrying about what folks say. God will. Yes, he will. I said, God will. He will show up in the nick of time. Won't he do it? Y'all let me say that. you up, turn you around. Won't it? Won't it? Won't it? Won't it? Won't it place your feet on a solid ground? Why don't you say it? Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. He's all right. Yes, he is. He's all right today. Why don't you look at the neighbor and say, neighbor, he will bring you out. Won't he do it? What you got to do, you got to wait. The change is coming. It's coming. But you got to wait. Y'all remember Sam, don't you? He said, I was born by the river in a little tent. He said, but just like that river, I've been ever since. But he looked back over his life and said, it's been a long time coming. But I know my change is going to come. I stop to tell you, it might be a long time coming, but just wait on the Lord. Your change will come because he will bring you out. God bless you. Bless you. Bless you today. He'll turn your emptiness into fullness. He'll turn your anxiety into assurance. He'll turn your sorrow into joy. He'll turn your misery into glory. If you wait on him, he'll turn your turmoil into peace. He'll turn your despair into delight. He'll turn your darkness into light. If you wait on him, he will bring you out. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He'll bring. Just like he did Israel. He'll do the same for you. He'll do the same for me. He will bring. He'll bring you out. When you look back today and see where the Lord has brought you from, a light of them come on and say, ha ha. The Lord did bring. He brought me out. God bless you today. Bless you today. The doors are open.